Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Ryan, and you are tuned in to the We Are All Veterans podcast. I had tried this earlier, and somehow the audio got messed up, and you couldn't hear me. So that was a wasted time. Let's try this again. Just trying this on Riverside for the first time. So we'll see how this works. I'm not 100% familiar yet with it, but we're making it work. So today's episode, I want to talk to you about something. Let me get situated here so I'm comfy. I want to talk to you about something called "Be Your Own Advocate." Let me preface this with saying, and this is not meant to be mean or disparaging or negative or any of that, but the world doesn't care about you. I'm gonna kind of that's the blunt, honest truth there. I'm gonna try and be as honest as I can with my viewers and listeners, but um, I'm gonna say that as candidly as possible. No one gives a damn about you except for you. The world is cruel. The world is tough. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to be your own advocate. And to be perfectly honest, no one's going to hold your hand. So there we go. That's the way to start the episode off with a little bit of a gut punch. No, seriously, you got to be your own advocate. You've got to look out for yourself. And I'm going to go through some of the things that I think help with veterans, and I think will help. And that is, for being your own advocate and achieving success in life. So, to preface, I've been out of the military for 14 years. I've been involved with veterans causes for at least seven of those 14 years. So, half the time I've been kind of, it took me a while to get my head right to help other people because I dealt with some mental health issues when I got out. Still do every day. That's kind of goes without saying. But to be perfectly honest, being your own advocate, let's cut down to the brass tacks here. What does that look like? Well, one, you have to look out for your own physical and mental health, your emotional health. You're not helping anybody by not looking after yourself. So seriously, look after yourself. The other part I will say is define goals for yourself and achieve them. And what does that look like? Well, it looks different for everybody. So don't take my word for it and just do what I say. You got to figure out what you got to do, and you've got to really do that. So here's one of the big things I'm going to harp on today is everybody who served. You got GI Bill benefits. Use them. I'm serious. I can't. Let's start with the education part because this is something I see too much of. Veterans just let that stuff fall by the wayside. They don't utilize them. And to be perfectly honest with you, guys, girls, you get this benefit you've earned. Use it. I'm telling you. It took me a while to figure it out, but after I got out of the military, I started using my GI Bill benefits. I put myself through a law enforcement academy, and I used my GI Bill. And what did that do? That covered my tuition, covered all the books that I would need for the academy. I did it through community college. You could do other things. I don't know. You could check on this. I don't know if you can do if you get sponsored through an academy, like through a law enforcement agency. If you're interested in pursuing law enforcement, that I don't know if GI Bill will cover you while you're in the academy, but I've heard stories that it kind of does. So check on that. The other part about it is GI Bill's good. I was using it. I was getting BAH. It was 2013, so I believe at the time I was like, based on your zip code, I think I was like at $1,800 a month. That's $1,800 a month to help me, pay bills and live and do all that. And I was paying my cell phone. My car was paid off by that time. So really it was just cell phone bill. The rest was going in my pocket. That's money going in your pocket. And you're gonna say no to that? Come on. Utilize your education benefits. There are a lot of resources out there to figure out what direction to go if you're not sure what to get a degree in. I had my experience in law enforcement for several years, 2013 to 2019. So I will tell you that one thing I learned, I got basically an associate's degree minus all the gen ed out of the academy, one semester. That's cramming a lot of stuff in one semester, or at least close to it. But I didn't get my associate's degree. I'll go into that later. But one of the things I'm going to tell you, I could tell from this perspective, from my own personal experiences, my own I guess my own perspective is that if you're going into law enforcement, don't get a degree in criminal justice. That's completely useless. They don't advertise that, but I'm going to tell you right now, criminal justice degree is effectively useless no matter what law enforcement branch you go into, whether it's local, state, or federal. It will not help you. Period. Don't do it. I don't even know what you use a criminal justice degree for, to be perfectly honest. But no, like I've heard people trying to go into the FBI with a bachelor's in criminal justice, and no, they don't. They won't look kindly upon that. I'm going to tell you, it used to be back in the day, the FBI required you to have a law degree. I think they're pushing more other ways, other avenues, finance degrees, cybersecurity with degree with experience. I've heard a lot of people with cybersecurity. I don't know firsthand, but cybersecurity, I've heard if you're going to get a degree in cybersecurity and work in cybersecurity, get as many certifications and other add-ons as you can, because just the degree and the base C++ or whatever they have, it won't get you anywhere. It won't. Cybersecurity nowadays, even the bachelor's degree is basically the high school diploma of a cybersecurity career. You need more. You need additional courses, additional certifications, additional accreditations, and all that. So, that being said, with law enforcement, I know a lot of people like get a degree that will help you. I know there's some colleges out there that offer an emergency management degree, any type of business degree, management degree, anything like that. Because when you're in the military, you learn leadership skills, but you don't learn a whole. I mean, you learn a little bit of managerial skills. That's cool, but getting a degree, if you're going to go that route, and go into law enforcement, particularly, especially like federal, and local too. Local, if you want to move up the ladder, like you want to make, it depends on agencies, but if you want to make like lieutenant, captain, chief, sheriff, whatever, you're going to need a degree to move up to the higher rungs of the organization that you go into. The other part about it is managerial degree or a business admin degree will help you because it shows them that you have like kind of the basics. That's really all a degree. A degree doesn't really let's really kind of shed the BS for a minute. A degree proves you jump through hoops. A degree said that you can accomplish something. A degree doesn't necessarily mean you have the knowledge and the skills to do a particular thing. Unless it's like specialized, like law school, medical, things like that. But in terms of like, I don't know where a degree in political science will take you, but it's a degree nonetheless, and it shows people that you've completed the necessary requirements to obtain the degree. So that's a sign of you basically fulfilling that. Yeah. So on that, let's talk about GI Bill. I can help people with that. There are resources out there to help people with that, but don't go it alone. Look it up. Figure out what you want to do. Somebody once told me, find your passion, what you love to do, and find a way to make money out of it. I would say that's a huge deal. The other part is on that, I would say use like the personality quizzes for like career path and utilize those because those will kind of point you in the direction of what you have preferences towards, an aptitude towards, and an interest in. You don't want to be stuck at a dead end job that you end up hating and basically be miserable for the rest of your life, because you're not helping anybody, especially not yourself. So when you advocate for yourself, you've got to find out what you want to do. The other part, if you haven't already tried to figure out all that, apply for your GI Bill benefits, go to school, find a school that you want to go to, and apply. That's the first stage. Sometimes there are ways to waive the application fee because you're a veteran. Look into those. Different schools have different things on doing that and such. So, with that, I'm going to sidetrack and talk about the other part of it. When you get out, if you were injured at all in the military, if you've sustained any injury, hopefully you saved all your paperwork. I don't care if you think it's total BS security manager's course. Save the paperwork for that. I have in my I Love Me book. Yeah, they told us that in basic training. If they didn't tell you that in basic training, well, you missed out on. It's kind of funny. There's this. My drill sergeants told me they've got an I Love Me book, where it's basically a compilation of all the stuff that they earned, all their awards, all their achievements, all the classes they took, all the different side stuff they did, all their qualification records. It's a big book all about them with all their records. If you don't have an I Love Me book, you were behind the curve. You should have an I Love Me book. I have in mine. I have a BS security manager's course, where I went through a whole thing on how to be a security manager and how to be a custodian of classified material, and I have that still. That's something I could put on my resume if I wanted to. Not that I would, because I don't know where it would help. But anyway, I hope you saved all your paperwork, sick call slips, all your medical files, all the stuff that's not your 201 that gets submitted to the VA when you leave military service. Save all that stuff. If you didn't, woe is you. But all the people getting out, that's stuff you should save. Submit that to the VA. Get a disability rating. I'm telling you right now, it is something you earned. If you were at all injured, that's what you need. Even if it's 10%, if your ears ring, tinnitus, automatic 10%, just get it. The VA will take care of you, or at least they're supposed to. The PACT Act is a step in the right direction doing that. So, yeah. So on the education thing, though, if you have a disability rating of 50% or higher, you are eligible for the Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VRE. It used to be called Voc Rehab. What it is it's a training program. They do either a training program or a tech school or a trade school or just straight up college, where they get you a degree, they get you trained, they get you into a career, they get you moving in the right direction to be employable post-military with your disability. And it's a good program. It has accountability. It has someone checking up on you, make sure that you're doing the right thing, and that if you're lacking in anywhere, they can get you help. They can get you assistance. I'm using it currently. Long story short, I went in to be a pilot. I first started doing GI Bill and went to go through Southern Utah University, and I'm going to put them on blast because I don't care. And it's what happened. It happened to a lot of us. They were suspended by the VA and didn't bother to tell new applicants into their flight program they were suspended by the VA. Therefore, you were not eligible to get any GI Bill benefits while attending. And I made a move from Denver, Colorado to Cedar City, Utah at my own expense, and I got a apartment and was living there, had a down payment, first month, last month, security deposit, a bunch of non-refundable stuff and moving expenses. And 2 weeks after getting down there, I found out that the VA had suspended the school. They screwed a lot of us over. They lied to us and they didn't help us out with that. And I had to pay out of pocket for that first semester because I have too many credits. They tried to I could do a whole episode on this. I won't get into it, but they tried to do some shady stuff and they got suspended by the VA. So yeah, if you want to be a pilot, don't go to Southern Utah University and Utah, do something else. So yeah, so me and a buddy of mine, we got really screwed over, and we were doing some stuff where we were gonna potentially have a chat with some Congress people. That never actually came to fruition, but looking out for other veterans. That's kind of what started it. So yeah, VRNE is a great program. That's what I'm doing now. I was using it to go through flight training to get all my flight ratings. I got grounded due to medical issues, but I'm still using VRNE just to get my degree. I went from a pilot program to now I'm doing aviation management. Who knows where I'm going to go with that? I'm still feeling out some areas. See, I don't even have my own stuff figured out, so it's okay if you don't. But on that, using your education benefits, you earned them. Please, please, please. I cannot stress this enough. Use those benefits. They are yours. You're entitled to them. It's just the smart thing to do. What else? So I got the education, GI Bill, VRE, disability. Make sure you get your disability, because if you get your disability paperwork in and get that, when you go to do it, don't be too proud. Don't go it alone. Get help. I recently put in for a increase in benefits, and I went through DAV. They really helped me out. That's just one organization. There's a ton. American Legion, VFW, Purple Heart Association, Disabled American Veterans, what I used. There's a ton of organizations out there. Let them help you. Seriously, like you should utilize them, because I'm going to tell you right now, you go about this alone, you're going to miss stuff. You're going to overlook stuff. They exist to help you. Let them. Let them. Don't be too proud. I'm telling you, there's too many veterans that are too proud, and they don't accept help when it's offered, and they say, "Oh, I don't need help." Yes, you do. You don't know it, but you do. Sometimes you do. No man is an island, like they say. So seriously, get the assistance. Let them help you, because navigating that system is really screwed up and it's really hard. But there are people out there that can help you. If you get above 50%, you have basically VA medical coverage, which is cool. I know the libertarian in me is screaming right now, like government healthcare. The VA has done good by me. My personal experience. It's not a lot of people haven't had a good experience with the VA. I will tell you that for those people, I apologize, and I'm sorry that you have had that. I've had a good experience for the most part with the VA. I've not had a good experience recently with OptumServe, who the VA is using for their comp and pen evaluations. But hey, got to take what you can get. I'm kind of navigating it. I've got appointments coming up. I can keep everybody updated on that. But yeah, so above 50%, there's those benefits. You get VA medical health care coverage. Aside from also your disability compensation, which is tax-free money every month. It's not an entitlement. It's something you earned. If you got injured, you deserve it. So, I'm going to tell you right now, I've had health problems throughout the years. The VA has really come through and taken care of me. So with that being said, there's also benefits. If you're 100%, there are other benefits like tax breaks and stuff. I'm not sure. Every state is different. I know Colorado, where I live, we have disabled vet plates. If you're above 50%, you're eligible for disabled veteran plates. That is where you don't pay, like one vehicle, you don't pay registration and tax fees. It's basically I renew my vehicle every year for free, which is really nice. I appreciate that. It's a pretty nice thing that the state does. I think every disabled veteran should take advantage of that, because DV plates, that's really bad. I mean, they get you into all the federal parks for free, state parks for free. Being a disabled vet just has those benefits that we're entitled to, that I think people shouldn't sleep on, because to be perfectly honest with you, our lives are hard enough as it is. We don't need, other things making it harder. And don't be too proud. Am I would I wish that I was not disabled? Yeah, totally. There are nights I wake up in the middle of the night because my neck hurts or this hurts, that hurts. I have nightmares, mental health issues. Do I want to have been hospitalized several times because of my PTSD? No, but it's so let the system take care of you. Let those benefits out there. Take advantage of them because there's more to being a veteran than just getting a free meal at Applebee's every November 11th. So you've got to go out, know what your benefits are, figure out what your benefits are, seek it out. Like I said earlier, if you're interested in using GI Bill or VRNE or any of that, or if you're interested in law enforcement, because I've navigated that, yeah, reach out, leave a comment, whatever. The Linktree link is all over my stuff to get in touch. Email. Oh, I don't want to mess it up. Email address is if seriously, like, I'm here for veterans. I'm here to help out. We are all veteransorg@gmail.com. We are all veterans org at gmail.com. Yeah, seriously, I look out for my brothers and sisters. If you're a veteran, you really, like, seriously, don't be too proud to accept help. Reach out for help, get help. In any way. And it's not just like, oh, I'm struggling with my mental health. No, it's just get help with, like, gosh, like, what am I, what benefits, how do I, here's a good one. VA home loan. Use that. That's great. You don't need a down payment for a VA home loan. It's guaranteed by the VA. VA home loan is a good idea for buying your first home. If you're a veteran and you have the means to buy a home, buy a home. Use a VA loan. You don't need down payment. I don't know if you need mortgage insurance either. You basically you can get a home. If you are a veteran and you're not a homeowner, consider trying that out one day. It'll help. Trust me. I hated renting. You're basically paying somebody else's mortgage. I hated living in an apartment because, well, I don't like being that close to other people. Because for me personally, you're relying on other people to kind of be respectful to you and respect your right to privacy and all. I could go on a tangent on that one. But seriously, there are so many benefits out there for veterans that can help you. So don't be too proud. Be your own advocate. Look out for yourself because the world will not. Yeah. So any of that stuff, that's kind of where we're at. You can, really just get involved. Help out your other veterans. I mean, really, it's a cool thing to do. It's a great feeling when you help out another veteran. When you do something selfless. Because I don't do it to feel better about myself. I don't do it to get accolades. I don't do it for attention. I do it because I would want somebody to do it for me if I needed them. If that makes sense. And it's just being a good person. It's helping out. I've been the chapter chaplain for several years of my Combat Vets Motorcycle Association chapter. Basically, my whole goal is helping my brother and sister veterans out. So yeah, to help them out. I've even done like outreach recently where helping people join the military. Let me tell you about that. That was not fun. When I was looking to join back in 2006, I was 21. I'm picking my words carefully because I have a lot of friends that are recruiters. I'm not saying that your recruiter will lie to you, but your recruiter will not tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. My recruiter didn't do me any favors, didn't really help me out as much as he could have. And I found out later I could have done high school to flight school because my whole goal in the military, I wanted to go fly helicopters. That got completely derailed several times over, not just by the unit I was in and the orders we got, but also getting injured, deployment, getting injured on deployment, and then, yeah, all that kind of spiraled. But yeah, so I wanted to do high school to flight school, which I don't think is still a thing anymore in the Army. But basically, what high school to flight school is, it was a program that the Army had where you basically come off the street and you go to basic training, and then you go to Fort Rucker and you go to Warrant Officer Basic Course. After you graduate Warrant Officer Basic Course and you're a Warrant Officer Junior grade, you go to Warrant Officer Flight Training, or WAFT, where there you learn to fly helicopters and then you track select for your airframe. At the time when I joined, I wanted to be a Kiowa pilot. I have some friends who were Kiowa pilots. The really, really cool helicopter that they retired years ago. But my recruiter was like, "Oh yeah, you could still do that. We're going to get you into an MOS. You get a top secret security clearance, and then you just put in your flight packet." Easier said than done. But I digress. Yeah, I wish somebody had helped me when I was joining the Army, because the MOS I picked was not a great MOS. Yeah, it was Intel. It was an Intel weenie, full disclosure. But it's just like, I got to do cool things, but I didn't really have good mentorship going in. And when I got there, I didn't have great mentorship until later. And then, yeah, so some mistakes were made, bridges crossed that I can't, you know, whatever. So, that's a big thing is, help other people. If you hear somebody that's thinking about joining the military, give them advice. Like, unsolicited, give them advice. Say, hey, do you want to talk about it? I'm always down to talk about it if people have questions. If you have questions about anything. So yeah, and being your own advocate really means just kind of looking out for, number one, yourself, whether that be education, physical, mental, what have you. Seriously, look out for yourself. Do the things. And I know, like a lot of people, there are a lot of veterans out there. They get out of the military and they want nothing to do with anything military, and that's fine. That's fair. I know a lot of people who do that. They don't want any. They want to be Joe Blow civilian again, and they don't want anything to do with veteran causes, veteran organizations, veteran groups. None of that. They don't even want to wear grunt style T-shirt or whatever. That's fine. But if you do miss it, you want that camaraderie, find an organization, VFW, American Legion, something. It will seriously help your mental health. It did for me. That hanging out, I've met some of my best friends I've met through CVMA. They are it's just a good group of people, like-minded, want to help other veterans and ride motorcycles. For me, I can't imagine anything better than riding motorcycles and hanging out with other cool veterans. Yeah, it's a and I'm not like, CVMA has nothing to do with my podcast. I'm a member, just saying my membership. I'm not endorsed by CVMA and all that. But on that note, getting involved with other veteran groups is also a good way to network. I've got some great networks out there. And if you don't, if you've heard it before, it's the whole, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Networking is great, especially if you're like going out and using your education benefits. It helps to network. If you join, if your school offers a veterans organization there, get involved with it. Join it. It's good networking to make those connections. If there's a fraternity or some sort of social club, get involved. That will help you network, because networking is key. It's vital. When I got out, I didn't really have any networks. I had all these skills, education, training, and experience. And I got really frustrated because I was like, veterans preference is total BS. It's not a thing. I went on unemployment for a long time after getting out of the military and could not get a job. I couldn't find work. I eventually had to go work for my dad, doing the family business, and that was that kind. I mean, everything kind of one thing leads to another, and I would never change any of the past, because if I hadn't followed that path, I never would have met my wife. I never would have had the awesome daughter that I have. Shout out there in the picture right there, my daughter. That was when right there. That was when she was like a year and a half. But no, seriously, like that's the big thing is I wouldn't change anything, but like when I got out, there was no one really there to help me and no one there to hold my hand to help me out with, getting a direction. And so I was applying, wasn't getting any jobs, and it was kind of frustrating. Until I figured out I wanted to go into law enforcement, and that was when I left the family business to go work in law enforcement. And even then, like no one was really helping me with the utilizing the GI Bill to go through the academy. There was nobody there to help me. Again, no one there to help me. I didn't seek it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. There's no one there to help me when I went to try to go to flight school the first time. Until I found VRE, I was kind of doing everything on my own, and that was working to my detriment because I'm telling you, like there are people out there whose entire job it is to help people navigate these systems. So really, just you've got to go out and you've got to do that. You've got to seek out that help. Don't be too proud. There was another thing. Why I started this organization. I wanted to share. It came up in my memories this morning on Facebook. This is from 6 years ago today. I just wanted to share it because it kind of was like the bug in the ear. It was the kind of like, and this came up over service dogs, which, yeah. So I'm gonna share this with you. This is kind of the history because I'm a big history guy. This is the history. This is what kind of got the catalyst to starting We Are All Veterans, and it goes like this. I'm so conflicted these days. I have to say I see more good than bad, but for crying out loud, lately the veteran community seems to be in this new eat their own kick. I see a lot of not so friendly ribbing get way out of hand between ASVAB waiver grunts, not all grunts, just the idiot waivers. Granted, this is when I was preface pause. I was a very angry person back then. Still have anger issues, but I was very angry when I wrote this. So take this with a grain of sand or a grain of salt. This isn't me today. This is past me. But I said, and so I see a lot of not so friendly ribbing get way out of hand between ASVAB waiver grunts, not all grunts, just the idiot waivers, and quote everybody else, or what they refer to as pogues, persons or people other than grunts. I was a pogue. I don't take offense to the term. I just think it's stupid. I get some ball busting. 'Cause it happens, ball busting. But some of this crap is really going too far. We're supposed to be all brothers and sisters and stick together. It's not as if different jobs take different oaths of enlistment, and it's certainly not as if our enemies give a damn if you're infantry, admin, supply, intel, or other. They only see uniformed American service member. Now, lately, things have really flown off the handle with how some of these probably barely honorably discharged tools, again, my anger, are being excessively critical of fellow veterans who have service dogs. Everyone reacts to different situations differently, and everyone has experiences and interpretations of those experiences differently. Who are any of us to judge if someone needs a service dog? I've been told due to my PTSD I'm eligible for a service dog, and I never directly faced actual combat. Does that somehow make me less worthy and deserving? It's a rhetorical question. No one knows what each veteran has seen and been through, or how those experiences affect different people in what ways. And then I quote, "Judge not, lest ye also be judged." Matthew 7:2. End rant. So that was my rant from 6 years ago. That kind of was the catalyst to starting We Are All Veterans, because really it is about looking out for each other and not being a dick to your fellow veterans. And I'm serious. Like I get like friendly ribbing. Like I I get it. Like I tell people whenever we're in conversation when they say, "Hey, what'd you do in the army?" I was Army Intel, and they go, "Oh, oxymoron. Oh, thigh slapper." Yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard a lot of those before. Oh, I should post it when I find it. There's a meme made by oh, he's a veteran. He does the stick figures, all the cool stuff. But there's one that was like Intel. what I thought it was, and it's like the little James Bond guy, and he's got a silenced pistol around a corner, and then what it actually is. And it's a guy giving a briefing at a projector, and he goes, and here's an angry cloud. And don't ask me why I made this cloud angry, but he's angry. So yeah, we can make fun of each other. That's fine. I rib on Coast Guard guys all day. I make fun of Space Force because I don't because it's funny, and it's that kind of like friendly ribbing, like Army guys say, all yeah, all you Marines, you crayon eating guys, licking the windows, and it's just in jest, it's in fun. But when it goes too far is where I take issue. When it's not in jest and it's in earnest and you actually mean it and it's hurtful. So that doesn't help anybody. But I digress. That's the rant there. That's the kind of history behind what started this and what got me moving in this direction. So, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm trying to keep these about 30 minutes. We're a little over 30 minutes. But really, like being your own advocate is super important. Looking out for your fellow veterans and looking out for yourself. I know I've let my health slip. I really need to get in shape. I know the geometry guys out there will tell you that round is a shape, but really, like, take care of yourself and be your own advocate, and don't be afraid. I'm serious when I say this. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. There are people out there whose entire lives revolve around helping others. Let them do their jobs. Let them answer that call. Because seriously, I mean, like, we really do have to stick together. So yeah, I will keep. I check all comments, emails, and all that on an almost daily basis. I'm trying to do the podcast on a weekly basis here. If I have enough stuff to ramble about, looking to try and if you have link ups, I'm looking to try and get guests on. I might collaborate. Likely, I'm going to collaborate with my friends at the Chief and Tatanka show. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Great times. I still need to watch the new episode. Please don't hurt me. But yeah, there's if you have link ups, I would love to. I can do it on this Riverside. There's a way to do that. I can figure it out. I'm pretty cool, pretty savvy with tech. I would love to get guests on if you have links to interesting people or just any veterans. I want to hear your stories. I will try and find people to put on the podcast because that's really one of the things I want to do with this is tell stories. Seriously, I am kicking myself to this day that I didn't sit down and record with my grandpa about his experience. He had asthma and couldn't join during World War II, and then he was drafted following World War II, and then never went to Korea. It would be cool to get his take and also get the story of his dad. My great grandfather fought in World War One. I have a bunch of his stuff that my great aunt and great uncle kind of passed down to me because I served, and they felt it was appropriate to have someone in the family be the curator of those items. I guess be the custodian, curator, whatever. Be the custodian of those items because they are, World War One history stuff. I've got uniform. I got some cool memorabilia, some war trophy stuff that I won't mention too much. Buttons, helmets. I've got a cool like spiky German Kaiser helmet that's pretty cool. And like stuff like that. Like I wish I would have gotten those stories. Hearing about my great grandfather and his experience of World War One would be a really cool story to have for record. I want to get stories. I am thinking about inviting a couple of the guys I ride motorcycles with who are Vietnam veterans. Because let's be honest, we're losing those guys right now. So cherish and appreciate them. But seriously, I want to tell stories. I want to get those stories saved to the record so that we can have those stories because once they're gone forever. And that's one of the goals I want to do with this podcast is tell these stories. The regular Joes, like I get it. Like you've got other podcasts out there that have some pretty cool guys. Like I love the show. Don't get me wrong. I love the show. The Sean Ryan show is a great show. Sean Ryan's very charismatic. He tells it how it is. He's got some good guests. They got some cool stories. But I feel like, he's a SEAL and he gets a lot of those kind of special operator guys. But I want to get like the normal guys. People like I have a friend who I've since lost touch. He was stationed in Germany in the late 70s, early or to mid 80s. And he was, they were all preparing for the Russians to come across the Fulda Gap. I'd love to get stories like that. What was that like? Being just a regular guy, he was a tanker, a regular tanker, stationed over in Germany during the Cold War. Like that's cool stuff. Even though they never went to war. They never got to shoot a shot in anger. Those are still valid stories that need to be shared and need to be preserved. Vietnam guys, Desert Storm. I'd love to get somebody who was in Panama. I'd love to get somebody who was at Grenada. I'd love to get some stories from Somalia. I've got a friend who was 10th Mountain Division in Mogadishu back during the Battle of Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down stuff. I'd love to get him on and get his story. I just I'm reaching out to my viewership. If you know of any stories, know of any people I should have on to tell their stories, I'd love to. If you have some interesting people that you have links to, let me know. I would love to tell their story. I would love to get them on. So that's kind of where I want to go with that. We're getting over 40 minutes here, but I read all the comments. If there's anything you want to talk about, please, leave a comment. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble. Like, share, subscribe, anything, seriously. And then check out my Linktree. It's Linktree / We Are All Veterans. I'll put the link where I can. I don't know exactly how. I'm still new to the whole social media game, but I've got Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, YouTube, Spotify. Check us out. We Are All Veterans. Thanks for tuning in today. I love all you guys, and remember to be good to each other. Until next time.